Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Welcome to Introduction to Microsoft Teams. My name is Nika Sturm, and I'm here today to give you an Introduction to Microsoft Teams workshop. This workshop is going to take approximately 45 minutes, and then we will have 15 minutes for Q&A. So please feel free to use the Q&A chat box and post any questions you might have. So the agenda for today is to tell you what Microsoft Teams is, why Microsoft Teams is important, how to access Teams on different devices, how to adjust your account options. Then I will show you the best practices for creating teams and channels. We will talk a bit about managing your team's owners and members and permissions. Then we will move to setting up, adjusting, and triggering notifications in Teams. How to send important and urgent messages, how to collaborate on files, and how to access file version history. So first of all, I would like to start with telling you what Microsoft Teams is. Microsoft Teams is the fastest growing business application in Microsoft's history. And at the moment, and this is the latest number announced, there are 145 plus million daily active users. I would like to emphasize that more than 93 Fortune 100 companies use Microsoft Teams for communication and collaboration. So you should be confident about utilizing this tool for daily communication and collaboration in your organization. But what is Microsoft Teams? Microsoft Teams is the hub for teamwork in Microsoft 365. Some of you know Microsoft 365 as previously known Office 365. And the aim and purpose of Teams is to keep all your team conversations, your files, your meetings, and applications to live together in a single shared workspace and to be accessible from one interface. So this technically means that you don't have to utilize a lot of different tools and applications to complete your daily work and to collaborate with your team members. This means that you have this one application that can integrate it all into one place. Third but not last, industry-leading security and controls. Microsoft Teams is there to protect your information. It is compliant with your organization's policies and regulations and is helping you prevent data loss. So this is really essential. Here, I would like to emphasize that I already told you 93 out of Fortune 100 companies use Microsoft Teams. Many organizations here in MENA region, both corporate and governmental entities use Microsoft Teams and rely on these industry-leading security and controls. And now you're probably wondering, why would I use Microsoft Teams and why is this important? First of all, Microsoft Teams will help you reduce the number of emails in your inbox. This is a very common corporate challenge, and I believe that many of you have already experienced it. And this is the common scenario when people use emails even to exchange short messages, or they CC a lot of people, or click on reply all without any particular reason, which creates a sort of overwhelming sense. So many emails. Some statistics show that nowadays people receive up to 200 emails a day, which is incredible amount and which can be certainly reduced. When I talk about Teams, I want to emphasize that I'm primarily referring to internal communication, but also so many organizations are adopting Teams and have already adopted Teams that most probably you will be able to communicate with some external stakeholders through Teams as well. And this will obviously reduce the number of emails in your inbox, and we will get to that point when we are going to discuss some of the capabilities available in Microsoft Teams. Second very important point is reducing distractions. So with Microsoft Teams, you are fully in control of your notifications. So you're the one who is deciding which notifications you're going to get and which one are going to be switched off. At any point in time, you can change this. You can adjust your notifications based on your preferences. So for example, I'm currently working on a project A. I will switch the notifications on. I will be notified about everything that is happening in that specific channel. But tomorrow I might be moved to another project, and then I will switch the notifications off for project A and switch them on for project B. Third very important point is increased mobility. Microsoft Teams is available from all your devices and even from the browser, and I will show you again today how to access Microsoft Teams from different devices, and this is also very helpful in case you're on the go, in case you work in the field, in case you travel between different offices, to have everything you need on any of your devices. I would like to mention that Skype is going to be phased out in July this year, so it's going to be replaced with Microsoft Teams. So if you use Skype for Business, then please, as soon as possible, start switching to Teams. And I would like to mention here that Teams is not just a replacement for Skype for Business. Teams is also an enhancement because it contains so many different features that are not available in Skype for Business, and will certainly help you a lot in regard to internal and external communication. In regard to WhatsApp, as many of you are probably aware, WhatsApp is not the safest solution for corporate communication, and you probably read and heard about the security concerns related to WhatsApp that can happen in the corporate environment. So if you use WhatsApp, the advice would be to use it for personal contacts and to use Microsoft Teams for business communication. That would be the best scenario for you to ensure that your information, business-related information, is safe and compliant with your organization's policies. Fifth point is reducing time to find information. Microsoft Teams contains enhanced search functionality where you can search across chats, conversations, people, files, and so on. So this enhanced search functionality enables you, and also applying a lot of different filters to organize your searches and to find information faster, will help you again save time and be more productive. Last but not least, Microsoft Teams enables you to collaborate on documents simultaneously. This means that you can work with your entire team on a specific document, and you can see the changes happening in real time. Why is this important? Because the current scenario still for so many organizations is that someone prepares a file and then emails this file to another person, then they make some changes, edits, send this file back, and this can result in numerous emails and so many file versions. You know, I believe in the past you had version 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on your desktop saved. You would agree that this is not very productive. So Teams can certainly help you with this challenge as well. I would like to tell you a bit about accessing Microsoft Teams from different devices. So you can go to office.com or microsoft.com, and simply you can download Teams application from there or access it from there. And the same goes for Apple Store or Google Play Store. You can simply go to any of these depending on your mobile device which you have, and access and download Microsoft Teams for your mobile device. I would just like to show you now. I'm switching back to my browser. So as you can see, I'm on office.com. I'm logged in with my corporate email address and password. This means the email address and password that you use, for example, to access your Outlook. So I'm here, and from here I can see all different applications that belong to Microsoft 365 line of subscription, Office 365. As you can see, you're familiar with some of these applications that you can see. Some might not be so familiar to you, but obviously over here is Teams, and if I click on it, it will just load now. So if I click on it, I can access the web version of Teams. This means that I can access Microsoft Teams from any browser wherever I am. So let's say maybe I'm on vacation for whatever reason, I need to access my Teams. I don't have my laptop with me. For some reason, I don't have the application on my mobile. I can go to any browser on any device, go to office.com, and from there I can access Microsoft Teams, and later on you will see all my Teams and my chats and my meetings and so on. So this is how you access it from your browser. And as I previously showed you, you can also go to office.com and download Microsoft Teams from there. And you can also go to your app stores and get Microsoft Teams applications from their from the web store. So this is how you access Microsoft Teams. Once again, if you have any questions during the workshop, please use the chat box and I will reply to your messages after this this session. And if you want me to share the links for downloading Teams, please also let me know. So I would like to talk a bit now about adjusting your account options. So over here, I will show you this slide, but I will also show you how to do this with hands-on session. So you click on settings, and then from there you can adjust your settings. But I will also show you how to do this from your application. So you go to Microsoft Teams and you click here. And as you can see, there is settings button. So click on your image and then below on settings. And there is a variety of settings that you can adjust from here. So first of all, you can register Teams as a chat application for Office, and then the availability, and you're probably familiar with the availability feature. Whether you're presenting, then it's showing this a red do not disturb button. If you're busy in a meeting, then it's showing regular red. There is a yellow button if you have been away, and green if you're available. This will automatically be transferred to your Outlook, and people will be able to see your availability if you register Teams as the chat app for Office. You can also adjust your language, application language, and keyboard. So for example, maybe you want to switch it to Arabic or some other language. There is a variety of languages you can change your application to based on your convenience. Over here, I would just like to move to talking about devices. So over here, you can adjust your speaker, your microphone, and very important option, adjust your noise suppression. So let's say if you're joining a meeting from a noisy environment, you can suppress the background noise by using this feature. Now I would just like to emphasize that this is introduction to Teams, so we're not getting into all the features, but in the upcoming 2 weeks, we'll be covering advanced features in Microsoft Teams and Microsoft Teams meetings. So I will get more into these settings that are, let's say, more related to meetings, but I just wanted to show you how to adjust your meeting options. All other options as well can be controlled from settings. So once again, account and settings. Now I will move to the best practices for creating teams and channels. So to create team and then to create a channel, you need to move to Teams icon. So Teams icon on the left-hand side of your menu. And then to create a team, you can click on create a team, or you can click on join or create a team. So now I clicked here. I have two options: to create a team from scratch, or I can use an existing group or team to replicate it. In the future, when you're more advanced in Teams, you will probably develop some best practices for your teams and maybe some templates which you will want to replicate and use in the future. So then you can go for this option. Also, I would like to show you some templates. So over here, there are templates that you can use, which already have some pre-created channels and maybe applications. So they're customized to the specific purpose. So for example, project management, event management, onboarding employees, and so on. So if you want, you can also use a template to create your first teams. For the sake of this exercise, I will create a team from scratch to show you how to do that. This is also very important. Now, next step is private or public. For private teams, this means that people need permission to join. And for public, anyone can join. Anyone in your organization can join. So if you have public teams, they will be shown like these teams that you see here on my dashboard behind this window. And those are easily accessible by everyone in your organization. So before creating teams, it's really a good practice to think whether you want to create a private or public team. What is the purpose of this team? If, let's say, it is cross-organizational communication, then you probably want to go for public team, so this information is accessible to everyone. However, if you want to have a team for your department, or let's say finance department, you might be sharing some confidential information and you don't want everyone across the organization to be able to access this information. So then you will go for a private team. I will just create a public team for the sake of this exercise because it doesn't really matter. Over here is the naming part, and I would again advise you to be specific in regard to naming your teams, because you probably want to have a good structure and to organize your teams efficiently. So you should be clear on the team's name. If you have multiple, let's say if HR department is distributed across different continents or cities or countries, then you maybe want to add, some code for the location as well to understand, where this team is and what it is about. So for the sake of this exercise, I will go for a product team. Before I move to the next part, I just want to say what teams are. So teams can be your departments. Team can even be a cross-organizational unit, because now previously we're able to add 10,000 members to team. Now this is being raised to 25,000 members. So it can be cross-organizational team. It can be for the specific project, or as you can see on this instance, for the product. So team is a group of people you work with. It can be your department. As I said, it can be the specific unit. It can be the specific project, the organization, or even collaboration between your organization and some other organization. I will click on create. And now you can add members to this team. So you can add individuals, or you can add the entire distribution lists. You can also add external people if the policy of your organization allows this. So I will just show you how to add some people. And as I said, you don't have to add them one by one. If you have a distribution list or security group, you can also use that. So now I added some members to the product team. Okay. Before I move to channels, I just want to get to this point. If I go to more options and manage team, over here you can see who the owner is. So the creator of a team is also the owner of this team. And then below we can see members and guests. We just have 2 members, which I added now to show you how to do that. Guests are the external people, external stakeholders, people who are not from your tenants. So let's say if you collaborate with another organization and you want to create a team for the specific project, you can add them and they will be shown as guests in this team. At any point in time, you can add more team members, and you can also remove some team members, and you can also upgrade them, so to say, to owners. My advice to you is to always have at least 2 team owners per team, in case somebody is absent or leaves the organization. You want to stay in full control of this. So this is also very important. And if you go to settings, so now we're at members. If you go to settings, over here, you can control member permissions, guest permissions, and so on. So let's say if we go to member permissions, and I would just like to emphasize this because it's so important for you to set up these permissions for your teams once when you create your teams, to know who can create and update channels, who can create private channels, and so on. So please, once when you create your team, go through these options and decide how you want to arrange your teams. And for guest permissions, over here, you can allow them to create and update channels or not allow them, and to delete channels as well. It's up to you. But once again, when you create a team, please go here to manage team, to arrange your members and to adjust your team's settings. So this is how to manage your team's owners, members, and permissions. I will go back now to creating channels. So we created this team, and we have general channel, which is here by default. The purpose of channels is actually to help you organize the information. It helps you organize your files, your conversations, your apps, and so on, to make the information in your teams more structured. So how do we create channels? I will click here on this ellipsis, more options, next to team. So not next to channel, next to team, and click on add channel. So now over here, I have the possibility to create channels and to add them to this specific team. And I will add something related to product. Let's say I will add strategy. And I will make it a standard channel, which means that it is accessible to everyone on the team. And I will tick this box to make sure that it is automatically shown in the channel as a channel in everyone's channel list. Okay. I will add one more just to make sure that you understand how to do this. More options, add channel. And let's say now I can add maybe marketing. Again, I will tick this box. But what should I do if I want to make a more restrictive channel? So let's say everyone who is a team member of product team can access all the files and conversations and everything else that is happening in marketing and strategy. What if I want to have one for insights, which will just be available to the managers? Then I will go here again, the same way I created a standard channel, click on add channel. Instead of standard, over here, I will move to private. Okay. So drop down menu, instead of standard, click on private and then next. So what is important to emphasize here, that I have to select the specific members from this team and add them to this specific channel, and they will be able to access this channel. So I will add one of them. And I will also make them owner of this channel. So now you see this little lock next to this channel. This means that this is a private channel and it is only accessible to the specific members that I will add to this channel. Let me just give you some idea of the numbers. In a private channel, you can have up to 250 members. So as you remember, this is significantly lower than you can have in a team and in a standard channel. So this means that you should think before creating private channels whether there is a need for that, whether 250 will be able to accommodate your idea of a private channel, and so on. Some other numbers that I want to share here with you is that if you create organization-wide team, you can have up to 10,000 members. Also, you can have up to 200 channels per team. So obviously very high numbers. Now, what I would like to do before moving to the next point is tell you a little bit more, just a little bit more about teams and channels to make sure that you understand the purpose and the benefits. So let's say I will give you some examples that maybe you can use. If you create a sales team, some potential channels could be annual sales meeting or maybe monthly sales pipeline, pipeline review, sales targets, and so on. If you have a public relations team, maybe you can use channels such as press releases, news, updates, and so on. If you have a marketing team, maybe you can have channels such as market research, communication plans, and so on. For technical, maybe you want to have channels such as incident management, work items, infrastructure, operations, and so on. So I hope this helps. Again, towards the end of the session, I will check the chat box, and I'm more than happy to give you some more ideas for your teams and channels. But now I would like to move to the next point, which is setting up, adjusting, and triggering notifications. So if you remember in the beginning of this workshop, I told you that you are in full control of your notifications, that you're the one who is deciding whether you will receive notifications or not. So for each of your channels, you can set up the notifications. Let's say if I work in the marketing unit and I don't really want to get notifications for strategy or insights or anything else, I will go to marketing. I will click on channel notifications, and then I will decide on the types of notifications I want to receive. On this instance, I want to receive a notification on all activity, all the posts, replies, and mentions. And I will explain now what mentions are. And that means that I will be getting these notifications. If for whatever reason I leave marketing unit and I don't want to receive any notifications, again, I will go to this ellipsis, these three dots, go to channel notifications and switch the notifications off. So you can do that for all your channels. Off, all activity, custom. Okay. What is important here is to mention that you are the one who is adjusting this, so nobody can do this for you. So it's not your manager who is adjusting your notifications, it's you. However, if there is something important and you're not really sure whether the specific person is monitoring that channel or if this notification will reach them, maybe they switch the notifications off, then you can use the so-called mention option. So every channel has its own conversations, and for the conversations and announcements and more advanced features, we will be going through these in the upcoming sessions in the upcoming weeks. However, over here, I'm just going to show you that I can click on new conversation, and let's say I want to make sure that the entire team sees my message. I will click on add, and I will start typing the word team. You see this drop down menu, I just select the team. And this will trigger a notification to the entire team. They will be notified that I posted something. You can use so-called mention option for other things. So not just for the team, you can use it for the channel. You can start typing the word channel or the channel's name. If you know it, again, select it from the drop-down menu. And you can use it for the individuals. And you can start typing someone's name and select from the drop-down menu. So this is a very useful feature if you want to trigger the notification and you're not sure if somebody is monitoring the specific channel or not. Again, this is how you adjust and trigger the notifications and set them up. For general notifications, you can also go here, go to settings, and go under notifications and adjust how you will be receiving notifications based on your individual preferences. So again, now I'm back to the first part. If you remember when I showed you settings, under notifications is how you adjust them. Now I would like to show you how to send messages and how to send important and urgent messages. So far I have been here under Teams icon. If you want to chat, if you want to talk to your team members or anyone across your organization, you can simply go to chat over here, click on new chat. And over here, you can just start searching for someone's name or someone's email address. You can find them and you can easily message them. Okay. So once again, you can contact anyone across your organization by just using this simple search button in the chat and search for anyone's name or email address, and you can contact them. You can also create group chat, and that's very easy. You can simply click here and add more people. And now we have a group chat. We can rename it. Let's say maybe this is a sales chat. Over here, you can have up to 250 people in this private chat. If we exchange any files in this private chat, those files will be accessible from here. So again, one-to-one chat and group chat and renaming chat. How do we send urgent and important messages? Let's say something is very important and we want to make sure that this person sees it. You see this exclamation mark, set delivery options. We have the option to send an important message where the message is marked as important, or we can also send an urgent message, which means that the recipient will be notified every 2 minutes for 20 minutes about this message. So whichever you choose, I will just choose urgent to show you that one, but you can also go for the important one if there is no need for urgent. You can do it from here. If you don't see this option, if you don't see this exclamation mark in your organization, then please do contact your IT and discuss this option with them. So once again, exclamation mark, urgent and important message. If you don't choose any of these options, the message will be sent as a regular message. So this is how you utilize one-to-one and group chat and send a group and individual message. Again, we will get into more details in the upcoming sessions regarding this. I just want to mention to you that from here you can initiate audio, video calls, and you can also share your screen from both individual and group chats. But again, we will get to these points in the upcoming sessions. The next important point that I want to cover is file collaboration. So Teams are very famous for file collaboration because it saves you a lot of time and makes collaboration more convenient and efficient. I'm going back to Teams again. And if you look at the structure of all your channels, you will see that there is always posts and files. There is also Wiki, but Wiki can be removed if you want to remove it. So all your channels have the same structure, posts and files as standard tabs that you have in every channel. This means that you can initiate conversations, as I showed you before, but you can also use Files tab to upload files. So let's say in marketing, we will only upload and create marketing files. So I will now show you what you can do from here. I clicked on Files, and I can either upload the existing file or folder, or I could create a new file or folder from scratch based on my preferences. I will just create one to show you. So now when I put this file here, everyone across this team can simply access this file, can get into this file and collaborate with me. For your convenience, you can also open this file in desktop app, and you can use the conversation tab where you can ask people to do something. Let's say conversation, I will ask. So now, as you can see, there is transparency. It's easy because my colleague will be notified about, my request to edit this file. She can react to my message, or she can just start working on this document. The changes are being saved in real time. So once again, you don't need to go back and forth. You can simply make changes on the file and see them in real time. There is transparency. All your colleagues can see what is happening. I think it will be easier if I just open a document where you can see that. I will open a demo file for you to show you how to do that. So as you can see now, there are two people collaborating on this file, me and my colleague. You can see his name here. The changes are happening in real time. We can see who is editing which cell. It's not possible to edit the same cell at the same time. So once again, there is no need to even click on save button because everything will be automatically saved. This is what I previously showed you. You can mention the specific individual, so to say, tag them and ask them to do the specific parts. There's a lot of transparency. This is very useful for you as a team. Let's say if you work on different types of presentations, or maybe if you work on different types of reports, but also for you if you're a manager to be able to see what is happening and what is the latest status of the specific document instead of having multiple versions of one document. So once again, I demoed this from this video just to give you some idea of what you can do. You can, as I told you, open it in desktop application as well to make it more convenient. Over here, as you can see, there is this link button. You can share the direct link to the specific file. So it's a very user-friendly and convenient experience to work on your documents. So once again, every channel under files, either create a new one or upload the existing one. From here, I can copy the link. I can also open this file in application, in browser, or edit in Teams. And I can also go and open the file in SharePoint. Why is this important? Because this will allow me to see the history of edits, the history of this file and what has been happening with it, and maybe also to retrieve the previous versions of this document. So let's say somebody made some changes that are not really nice, that I don't want, that I'm not happy with. I can simply go here, and you probably won't be able to see many changes because I didn't really collaborate with anyone on this file, but I will show you how to do that in case you want to retrieve the previous version of your document. So now we are in SharePoint, and I will simply click on this ellipsis and on version history. And let's say your entire team has been working on this file. Now I can see that only 2 of us worked on this. And if I click on the left-hand side, next to the specific document, I will be able to open Excel version of that file, the previous version, and revert to it, go back to that version. So you should, again, feel confident about file collaboration in Teams because you will always be able to access the previous version and to go back to it and to to go back to the version if any changes that you didn't like were made. But once again, just to clarify, file collaboration in Teams is for your teams. So it's for the documents that you want to collaborate on. So if you want to just collaborate with 1 or 2 people on a specific document that shouldn't be accessible across the team, then there is other tool to use, that is OneDrive. I will not get into that today, but for team collaboration, definitely use Teams and put your files in Teams and make them accessible to your team members to work on them. So you can also make your file a tab. Let's say this is the most important document that we want to use very often, and we want to make it easily accessible, especially if we upload a lot of files here. I can simply select it and make it a tab, and then it will appear on the top of my marketing channel. Once again, we will get into tabs in the upcoming sessions. This is just introduction to Teams. So we just covered the basics. And as I said, for the advanced features of Teams and for meeting options and how to benefit from Teams meetings, please join us in the upcoming weeks for the upcoming sessions. Before I close this, I would just like to thank you for your time and to tell you to benefit from Help button that you can see here, because with Help button you can access topics and training and refresh your knowledge that you gained today and that you're going to gain in the upcoming weeks. So for example, you want to know more about files, you can simply use the keyword search over here, and maybe you will learn how to share files in Teams or how to edit files and so on. So once again, Help button, topics for keyword and text search, and training for really interesting and nice short training videos, which will help you gain more knowledge on Teams. Before I switch off the recording and move to the chat box. I would again like to thank you for your time today and for attending this session, and hope to see you in the upcoming weeks. All your questions that you posted in the chat box will be answered now. If you don't have any questions, then thank you for attending and have a great rest of the day. Goodbye.